Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, which I have not filmed for in actually 3 years, almost 3 years. So whoops. It's not that I didn't want to make YouTube videos anymore, it's just that life kind of got ahead of me and I completely changed careers, completely changed lifestyles, and I just started traveling all the time. So basically spent the last 2.5, almost 3 years of my life being a flight attendant for a major airline. And due to COVID, I was furloughed. So until I get a call back saying that they need more flight attendants, I am not currently working as a flight attendant. Or really working anything right now, to be honest, but like, we'll talk about that. Anyways, so yeah, I'm not flying right now, but I absolutely loved the job. It was so much fun. My original plan when I started flying was to be like this fit flight attendant and show you how to stay fit while flying, and I would like to say that I did stay pretty fit while flying, and I tried to maintain healthy eating habits and healthy lifestyle, and overall was able to do that and have helped people do it as working. But that's not really what happened. I kind of made the most out of the job and I started flying and traveling all the time. So not only did I work as much as I could, I truly used my benefits to the max. And when you are working in aviation and you're an airline crew member, you get certain benefits that some people don't have when it comes to traveling. And yeah, I used the shit out of those benefits. So I like to say that I made the most out of flying. Anyways, so I figured I would maybe just start making some videos now about how it was to fly and how it was to stay in shape there. So I did post on my Instagram and I asked some people if they had any questions about being a flight attendant or any questions people have even just asked me in general in terms of it because they saw me flying around all the time. Okay, so one of the first questions I got asked was, what does your daily routine look like? And as a flight attendant, my daily routine was pretty much go to the airport, well, wake up, try to go to the gym, work out of some sort, go to the airport, and then from the airport, you have to be there an hour before your flight. So once you go in, you board, you fly, you land in another airport. It can depend from day to day how many flights you take in a day. My average flight a day was definitely 2 flights. So I was New York City based, so I would do like LaGuardia, Dallas, Nashville. And then I would have a layover at Nashville for maybe one night, and then the next day would be Nashville, Dallas, San Antonio, a layover in San Antonio, and then the next day, San Antonio, Dallas, LaGuardia. That's a good 3-day trip. That was a 2-2-2, meaning 2 legs a day. And in that routine, every day with that would basically be me laying over, looking for a gym, maybe meeting up with some friends if I had it, going out to maybe a bar or a restaurant or something fun with the flight attendants or the crew members if they were cool. They're not always cool. But luckily, most of the time they are, but sometimes they're not. So then you start going stuff by yourself, which is not the end of the world, but I'd rather go out with people. Hard to have like a daily routine as a flight attendant, but you kind of make what you, like, you kind of make the most out of it. But most of the time it's flying from airport to airport, walking around through airports and looking for a gym when you land, or going to a hotel gym, doing a gym workout in your room, hanging out with the crew, doing any type of work you have to do on your own if you have like a side business or something, catching up with friends, anything like that really is part of like your daily routine, I would say, but everyone's different. Okay, another question I got asked was kind of like, how do I go about being a flight attendant? And I think this is a video that I guess could be made more in depth, but I saw that airlines were hiring, so I kind of just started applying. I applied to like 3, and I got interviews and callbacks from about all 3 actually. And the first one that hired me, I kind of just like went with it. And it kind of just all fell into place. I had just gotten my kinesiology degree out of California State Northridge, and I didn't really know what to do with it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna be a flight attendant and work and see what happens. And yeah, it was really fun. But there was definitely a video interview and then a face-to-face interview and then a group interview. So video, group, face-to-face interview, and all those together, they kind of like let you know whether or not you got hired, and then you went to training for 6 weeks. So then I went to Dallas for 6 weeks, and I went to like a pretty like intense like 6-week program training for flight attendants that had to do with like safety and evacuations and a bunch of emergency things that what could possibly happen. And yeah. So another question I got a lot was how to go about it. And really, if you're interested in being a flight attendant, I would go on to airline websites, see their career side of it, and apply. Apply to the airline. And then for my airline, it was basically a video interview, then it was a group interview, and then it was like a one-on-one face-to-face interview. And I found out that day of the interview whether or not, like, well, I found out that I got hired, but other people found out that they kind of didn't get hired that day because they weren't told that they were hired. And if you're not really told that you are hired, then you might not be hired. So I don't know exactly how it works. I know some people might have gotten a call back later, but yeah, you pretty much just applied online, and then it just like things fell into place. I think due to COVID, like, airlines might not really be hiring right now, so now's not really the best time to be applying. But if that's what you want to do, then I would definitely apply to other airlines or keep looking. Also, another question I get asked all the time is about the Mile High Club, and honestly, ew, that's gross. So no, that's disgusting. And if you even want to do that, I don't know why. Like, there's so many germs on the plane, and ew, just ew, 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 ew. But if I'm ever out at a bar and I'm like, oh, I'm a flight attendant, everyone's like, oh, are you part of the Mile High Club? And I'm like, no, no, no. Okay, another question that everyone always asks and that someone sent me was, how does housing work? And housing, so as flight attendants, you're based at a certain location, and when you're based there, you like fend for yourself. Like, I was based out of New York City, well then I have to fly in and out of New York when I start and end trips, meaning I have to kind of somewhat live there. So either I rent out an apartment there, or buy a house there, or have a crash pad there, which is like a not permanent location to kind of just sleep every now and then when I'm in New York to before or after work. We can do a video on that later, but you don't really, like, the airline does not provide housing for you. Like, you provide your own housing. Now, if you're on a layover and you're working, the airlines always provide hotels for you, always. And another question I got asked is if I will know if everybody will make their flight connection on the flight, and no, I will not know that. There's been so many times when we're landing in Dallas or Charlotte or Miami, everyone's like, oh my God, I have like 10 minutes to make my connection. Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? And I'm just like, honey, run. Just run. Get off this plane and start running. Because I have no idea and no one knows. And lastly, somebody asked me if I like it. And yes, I loved it. It was the best job ever. I mean, there is no other job where the weekend is every day, basically, and I don't ever think I felt like I was working. So yeah, I did like it. It's kind of hard on your body, I think, to be changing altitude 3 times a day sometimes, or less, or depending on what airline you work for. But yeah, it definitely was a blessing, and I wouldn't have rather spent the last 2.5, almost 3 years of my life doing anything but that. I think I have grown a lot as a person. I have met amazing people. I have been to beautiful places. And I mean, I don't think I could ever say that I have like a more fun job. Like, it was fun. And some people might say that it's, you know, people are rude to you. And you know what? If people are rude to you, like, whatever. Life goes on and your day will keep going. And, you know, if someone's mean to me, then that's fine. I don't care. I'm gonna live my life regardless. People can be rude though, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know what they're going through. They don't know what I'm going through. So I'm just gonna like leave it at that. And usually if someone was really rude to me and I didn't know what to do, I would just say like, I'll be right back. And then I wouldn't come back. So that was that. So another question that somebody asked me was if there was a lot of like cute, attractive pilots. It's not like I started flying and I was just like, wow, look at all these hot pilots everywhere. Like, oh my God, someone pinned me down. No. But I do think that there are very attractive flight attendants, very attractive pilots, always, and there's attractive people everywhere, but not just like hot pilots all the time. Plus, usually when you're working, like if you're working for like, depending on the airline, like a bigger airline, usually a lot of pilots are a lot older and they have like wives and kids and stuff like that because they have to build their seniority to get to the level that they're at. So I would say like most of the time, more of like the younger, more attractive pilots for, you know, most airlines would be at the regional airlines. You know, I'm just saying. Of course, I only have eyes for one pilot. But anyway, yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little random video with questions I asked on Instagram. Go ahead and ask me more questions because I would actually love to film more videos about this. Like I said, I think I might starting to do some more videos about things that I had been doing the past like 2.5, 3 years, how I was staying in shape while flying, and more questions. Like I said, this is just like super random like question and answer that I got from Instagram. But I had a lot of fun filming this, and it's been kind of nice, you know, finding things to do now that I'm not like working for the airline, and I definitely do miss it. So if I can, you know, keep a little bit of, you know, aviation life in my life now, I would love to keep doing that. So anyway, yeah, let me know if you have any more questions. Go ahead and like the video. Wow, I can't believe I just said that. It's been a long time. And yeah, let me know what you think, and I will maybe make a new video sometime. Okay, bye.